Hello and welcome to my channel. In our series on mental wellness, we are focusing on stress as part of life. In this season of COVID-19, all of us, young and old, kids in school, in college, high school, people working from home, parents having to balance their work and schooling their children from home. It's been a very, very stressful moment, stressful situation where people have had to adjust to so much, loss of jobs, loss of loved ones, sicknesses and anticipatory loss as well, as people were hospitalized, whether because of COVID and other conditions, and even the losses we experienced, even globally, because we would get to see all these things on our news. So in the past 1 year, I think everybody has experienced stress in a bigger magnitude than there before. And I always get this question of when people are inviting us to do corporate talks and they're asking, do you do stress management? And I joke with the HR managers and I tell them, I would rather talk about stress as part of life, because life is uncertain to all of us and we will all experience stressful moments in one way or another. We will get moments when we are happy, there are moments of joy, there are moments of celebrations, but also as life is, we will also experience tough times and stressful moments. And it is better that we are more prepared and even have an accepting attitude that we will go through stressful situations and make stress as part of life. And when we do what we call acceptance paradox, where we can accept stress as part of life, we are better prepared how to handle it and where it is not going to destroy us or damage us or leave us despaired or discouraged or frustrated, but we'll be able to rise above it, probably get more resilient, probably get the stressful moments to reveal us to us. So we would want to answer this question, is stress good or bad? And I always say yes or no. Yes, because if it puts you down, it makes you dysfunctional. You're not able to go to school, you're not able to be productive as a worker, you're not able to parent your kids or raise your children as a mom or a daddy, you're not able to go about your business, then it means that the stress has really affected you. You're not sleeping well, you're not eating well, you're always tired all the time. It's probably taking you down. And if you stay there for more than a month, that is what you're experiencing, then we could actually be looking at depressive symptoms developing. And this is the point where you probably will need to seek help. This is the point where you probably will need to talk to a psychologist or even a counselor or even a person who can help you and do an assessment and prepare you or even coach you on how to cope better with the stress. Stress is not bad at all sometimes, because it reveals us to us when we are going through stressful moments, when you're experiencing a storm in your life. This is the time you get to think. This is the time you get to reflect. This is the time you get to look back and say, what can I do in this situation? What resources do I have to be able to handle this? Am I alone? Who are my real friends? This is the time you get to know the people who can work with you or who are there for you. This is the time you get to know what is important in your life and what you can pack fast to be able to deal with this stressful situation. So stress is good sometimes because it gets us to seek all the resources that we have, some that we ignore. And this can be how we spend our time. Maybe you spend your time with things that are not necessary. The people you surround yourself with, you will realize that they're not there for you during that stressful moment. So it's a moment to cut off and declutter your life from all these people, the activities that you engage in that are not meaningful. Sometimes it's also the things you do, maybe the work you do. Are there some things you need to delegate, for example? Maybe you stress yourself in the workplace as a manager or even at home because you want to be a super mom. You're doing everything, but there are people you can delegate these things to, even your own kids. The rule of the thumb for children is that let them do what they can be able to do by themselves for themselves. But when you're a super mom, things must be done perfectly. Being perfect is negative, and it causes you a lot of stress. So we need to reflect and get to see What are these things that stress me? Do I create time for myself for us to be able to cope with stress better? Can we be able to check how we can prepare our bodies, prep our minds so that we are not sinking into sadness, into depression, into unhappiness because we are not taking care of ourselves? And to prep ourselves, we need to ensure that we are exercising, we are eating healthy, that we are keeping social connections and healthy ones as such, and that we are observing a healthy sleep hygiene, that we are getting enough quality sleep, and we are getting holistic in the way we take care of ourselves, our physical bodies, our psychological, emotional well-being, our spirituality as well, our connection with God. And this is not about religion. This is not about being active in church or in whatever religion you're in. It is about your connection with God and your relationship with God. It is good that we avoid, when we're going through stressful moments, negative coping mechanisms that can sink you further into negative issues, into mental health issues actually, such as drinking, comfort eating, spending time on series, what we would call binge watching, and even what we said, binge eating, and other people who spend time out there exercising throughout, that you're doing 3 hours of exercising. You spend all your time golfing because you are avoiding, you're playing avoidance. You're avoiding to resolve or to face the situations that you could be going through. One of the key things I would mention as I end this, it is important that we know that stress is depending sometimes on how we see it. Our problems are the way we see them, not exactly how they are. Our interpretation of our problems. Are you the kind that magnifies your situations? Are you the kind that just sees the negatives in relationships, in your work, in yourself? Are you the kind who disqualifies your positives, other people's positives? Are you the kind that classifies yourself and others? You as incapable, others as capable. You as inferior, others as superior. You as inadequate, others as adequate. And therefore, when you're going through situations, you constantly also may be blaming others. And when you blame others, you get frustrated and angry because you're seated waiting for them to come and sort out the issue. So you're not doing anything. Or you're the kind who blames yourself without considering all the facts. Or you're the kind that jumps to conclusion that my friends, my family, my boss does not like me. That is why they are treating me the way they are treating me, without facts. So we need to check how we interpret situations, because that could be the source of our stress, not the situation itself. And when you pick that you're interpreting things negatively all the time, this is the time you seek the support of a therapist, the support of a psychologist, who will help you to distort those negative thoughts that you keep, that make you magnify your stressful situations, that your life has become so unfulfilled, so unhappy, even after all your achievements, that you're asking, with a good job, with a good family, with all the things that you needed, and I'm still not happy. There must be something wrong with me. No, it's probably the thinking process you're keeping. If we make stress as part of life, first we ask ourselves how we are telling ourselves or what we are telling ourselves about it. If we notice that we are being negative, we need to learn how to change that thinking process. We also need to know that some stressful situations can tell us about us, can grow us, can help us to develop the skills that we need to remain resilient and to have the grit to manage life. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, share, drop us a comment. We will be sure to get back to you. Stay well.